So, like, you look in the about bit. I have been producing hundreds of videos exposing the symbolism, art, monuments, memorials throughout major cities in Europe, but you'll also get rare glimpses into the backyards of mansions. Some of his visual work reveals hidden courtyards, festooned with bloodline crests and occultist artwork. As you may have guessed, producing and uploading this level of high quality video exposing the secret Swiss aristocracy and the real connections with the global banking system has come at a high price. I have been a political prisoner in Switzerland. I was tortured while in prison and has been homeless for 2 years. And Pharaoh said, "This will be our red and white neutral territory of the red and white house lineage, where we will never make war because it will be our base, where we will hide all our precious goods as in the old times with the pyramids. The centre of power will be there through all NGOs, banks and Swiss Octogon Nazi Templars. Most of us are subjugated into a modern slave system, but with a vague reference to the power structures using terms such as bankers or elites. I bring a tighter focus on those terms through this research, exposing the world's most dangerous mafia, the aristocracy. We are the slaves and they rule the world. Their base is Switzerland. According to my research, the last stronghold of the Templars fell on May 18, 1291. 2 months later, Switzerland was founded. The Templar treasure was hidden in Switzerland, through which the Swiss banks were founded and all subsequent and future wars financed. I also point out that the families currently in places of control within the Swiss banking system's upper tiers have bloodline connections to ancient pharaohs, hence my use of the term aristocracy." So, I'll put this at the beginning of this vlog, right? But it's going to be a bit out of order, I think, here. But only slightly, don't worry about it. How y'all doing? Really here, just want to show you, I didn't know, but seems that hross has got his own website. I never knew. I think it's quite recent. This is the first time I've ever looked at it, so I just thought I'd catch some film, just might get a vlog out of it, might not. I can't even read that. That's not, I can't read that. But people have been talking about the Octogon symbology, and this guy's got a real theory about it. He's not a flat earther, I don't think, though he's open to thinking. He knows it's not. He knows NASA's bullshit and that. He's not sure. He just is. But he's not about that. He's convinced that the Templars hauled up in Switzerland and formed Switzerland 5 years before King Philip, I think, of France rounded them up and killed them all, supposedly. Obviously didn't kill them all because there were thousands of them. And they built commanderies all over Europe. And there's hardly any castles in Europe before the 10th century. And with the Templars we got castles, so the Templars, we started getting aristocracy. And what he says is that 5 years before they got rounded up in France, and the main guy, and they got burned at the stake and all, whatever, the rest of it, he says they'd set up Switzerland and they took the treasures, what they got from the Crusades and what they'd been making, you know, they were a total business, total corporation. They took all the money to Switzerland because it was safe, and they, like, you know, they made a home base there, mountainous, well protected, easily defendable, the rest of it. But they sent a shipping fleet to Scotland to protect the waters, and that's the best place to protect the waters. That, you know, so they sent the ship, and of course we got that Magdalene Church. What's it called? The St Clair family, is it? And there's that church, isn't there? I'll get it in a minute. Rosalind Chapel. I couldn't remember the name. I could remember the name of the family, but I couldn't remember the name of the chapel. See, the story is, just wait for the fucking Lanarkshire Symphony Orchestra to pass by there. I've got my window open because I'm waiting for a delivery. Horse will come in. I don't want to miss it, so I've got my window open. So the story is that the Templars built this place, and they had the fleet in Scotland, the shipping fleet, and they protected the waters. But getting back to Sean Ross's website, so it's fascinating. He talks about history, and he tells us, he links so much to this. It's a massive conspiracy, and he's like at the moment he's just on the run, as far as I know. He's like just always hitchhiking around Europe, France and Spain and Belgium, Holland, mainly France and Spain recently. And I left a link for James Brockhurst, but I linked him to the wrong bloody vlog. But hopefully, if he's interested anyway, because he was wondering about Octogon symbology, like with the bandstands, and you see Octogons all over the place. I've covered it like before and shown bits about this, but I've never laid it out and explained it, because it is fascinating. Once you start listening to him, listening to the history of it, I think this is the best place to find his vlogs at the moment, because I think we're all going to get wiped soon, so I'm making this vlog before, I don't know, this might be my last ever one, I don't know, come the new year, who knows. It's a shame, man, because you just start, you know what I mean, we started using these things as a way of like awakening people en masse and piecing the story together of what's really been going on and what's really happening around us with reality. And they're just tightening the nuts down. It's been coming a long time, hasn't it? So, yeah, the story this guy lays out. So from, like, they started Switzerland, and from there they started the banking system, and they've been controlling humanity and the West, and, well, the communist side as well. They've been controlling a lot. They fund both sides in every war. He shows, like, there's a map during the First World War, like, so that's France and Belgium, this here's Switzerland and Italy and all that round there, right? Well, the Maginot Line, like, comes right through every country, right up, and stops there at Swiss. No one went round that way, no one went round that way, that's the defence line. All the fighting was done through there, Belgium, Holland, France. It stopped exactly on the Swiss border. No one went round. Millions dead in a day. And he's saying they're just killing all European males off. Makes you wonder about, like, the flus after the First World War, that, like, crazy flu we had. Wiped out more like a plague, wasn't it? Like the Black Death again. Makes you wonder. I'm trying to find where he tells the story of the vlog. What's and he knows so much about history. I'm not joking. A fascinating guy, and he's the amount of knowledge he knows. I just can't express how much. I just can't. He shows you the other side, like the truth in between the lines of things. And he's like distinct from us. Like he's not into Tartarian thing and that. He's like totally separate from all that. He's separate from. He's come up with. He's been doing this for years. Separate, his own thing, but it ties in with what we're on. What we, you know, what we're finding. He's already laid it out. The one I'm trying to find, the one with the Swiss Beast. It's called. Sorry. See, here he talks about the pharaohs, right? The Swiss pharaohs. Oh, sugar. Just knocked out the stand. You can read it if I blow it up. Neutral Switzerland, established in 1291, home of the Knights Templar, Egyptian pharaonic bloodline and their stolen cache of Jerusalem gold, bankrolled artist and forceful charismatic German orator and propagandist Adolf Hitler to undertake the biggest heist of financial, physical and human capital ever seen 1939-45. The Bank for International Settlements was established in the early 20s with a stated purpose of facilitating German World War I repatriations. Can't even speak. Repatriations with a state. I don't think that's right spelling, is it? It's repatriations or something. Nothing was further. Well, it were payments, weren't it, for paying back the cost of the First World War, financial. Nothing was further from the truth. The Swiss pharaohs, using the BIS, started to raid European countries for their wealth. In the late 30s, an enormous warehouse of oil was found in Saudi Arabia. An enormous storehouse of oil was found in Saudi Arabia. The House of Windsor, UK monarchy, formerly Mountbatten and formerly Battenberg Germans, quickly embraced Saudi Arabia as its vassal, and the Swiss pharaohs of neutral Switzerland set up a shipping fleet, purportedly aid ships that transported Saudi oil to Germany. A war would soon begin. The finance and the energy source had been found to protract a war between pharaohs by and on behalf of pharaohs, and for half a decade the Swiss pharaohs of the European and British elite families would begin their extermination of the common people, their slaves. Thus began World War II. Prepare yourself to be horrified. The German Swiss pharaohs who sit on the English throne, the Mountbatten family. Do you remember Lord Louis Mountbatten, who the IRA supposedly blew up on his lake in Northern Ireland on a lock? He was on his boat and it got blown to smithereens with a lot of some innocent people as well. Well, he was Prince Charles's uncle and like steered him all his life. He was his influence all his life. And that's the Mountbattens, and that's where Phil the Greek comes from, who's married to the Queen Elizabeth. He's from that set of them, I think. Right. There was so much wealth stolen from the people over 5.5 years of World War II that the Swiss pharaohs were able to control all aspects of political, financial and religious life for all peoples and all countries right through the 20th century. This is how much wealth had been stolen from us. Phenomenal. Please consider this. The word Bilderberg means mountain of paintings. Guess how the Swiss pharaohs have been funding their exploits for the last 80 years. We don't have to think too hard. Nazi, Hitler, Soros, confiscations of gold, paintings, furniture, other artworks, sculptures, etc., gold teeth, jewellery, all valuables of every kind, all stolen from the people. The people are waking up. We've come to take it all back. We will no longer be the circumcised slaves set apart under a lying psychopathic Egyptian pharaonic bloodline who act in collusion with the pharaonic priests of Amun, who rule from the Vatican City. Amun, Amen, Amen, in the name of Jesus, which is Amen. The Catholic Church knows exactly who they are. I think he's going around bush a bit, eh? Like, does no punches, does he? Does no back, does he? These pharaohs care nothing for humanity. They are total psychopaths who use, misuse, abuse, cheat, falsify, trick, manipulate, rape, kill, degrade, enslave. This is how deep the deep state is. This is the swamp we are draining. A collective effort of the people. They are no bystanders. All must help in this war effort for our minds and the freeing of all people from debt slavery. Only we ourselves can free ourselves from mental slavery, morally. Nobody is going to serve you up your awakening on a silver spoon. We must do this work for ourselves. This is where it begins with me. Change your thinking, be free. The 21st century is a century of change. All these strongman mechanisms will be brought down to their knees. All the people will see we are the change. Tell everybody in your networks what happened and what we know. Sure, this is a revised history that all people need to know about. We need to properly educate ourselves, and then we will never allow ourselves to be tricked again. The magic trick took 5,000 years to develop, emerge, and become what it is today. Hegemony over the people, humanity will take it down, take all down in a decade. All the foils, fabrications, subterfuge, propaganda, pandering, the spoils of war, the colonisations for millennia of tribes and innocents will be seen for exactly what they are. Get ready, everything is about to change. When you see all of this with clear eyes, washed in the pure water of the river of truth, you won't be able to unsee the atrocity. Powerful words. Powerful words, yeah. And I hope he's right. I hope we do, because, right, come January, they start shutting all YouTube down. We're going to have to find somewhere where we can muster and keep this thing going, because I've been waiting all my life. I'd given up, and then suddenly it seemed that people were, like, the truths were coming out. I was finding things out. Everyone was finding things out. People were starting talking about it. The change was starting to happen. The change I'd been waiting all my life, and lots of us, it seems, have been waiting all our lives for it, had started to happen. People were discussing things what you couldn't get you couldn't get people to talk about in a million years, not so long ago. And I'd be damned if we're just going to let YouTube stop that from happening. Even if, like, my channel stays up and some others go down, like, it's no good. That won't do. If they take one channel down, it's fucking no good. They've already started doing it, so it's only a matter of time before we're all doomed from them. So we need to start thinking of something else. I'm not tech savvy, I wish I was. Shit, I'm trying to find another chapter. It goes right through the Knights Templars. It was through him I found out Saladin became a Templar. I couldn't believe it. I told that Charles Coss, he's like, ah, yeah, right, and I sent him links and that, he's like, my God. And he's got all the stuff on Sight of Jesus, Jesuits. I didn't even know what a Jesuit were till about 5. I knew they were like you know, a religious order, whatever. You know, I just thought, I didn't realise what they were. I'd heard the name and that and seen them, but, and then I moved to this little village where there happens to be a Jesuit nest. Grotto. I visited those of you not so much vlog, have a look. Grotto, spooky place. Couldn't believe it. So yeah, Jesuit nest just happens to be where I live in, and then I started looking into them, and then with the Hamiltons being here as well, all links, because they were banished from like Scotland, and then they snuck back in, and where the first time they showed up in was Hamilton. I was like, wow. And then I find all this stuff about, you know, what's Sean Ross. When I came across Sean Ross, I was like, wow, this makes it all, ties it in, makes sense. So I can't recommend it enough. It's fascinating. And you will learn it'll tell you so much, and look at little tangents you can go off on. And look, that's the Jesuit oath, it's absolutely crazy. I'm not even going to read it out, I don't want to give power to it, but it's vile. You used to be able to get footage, you probably can't get them anymore on YouTube, but he said you get Jesuits and that, and ask them about the oath, and they claim they don't know anything about it. Started reading it out to him, this guy's like, oh, I didn't know that. What you remember is citing, and you don't know what the oath is, what you took. It's crazy. This is a good one of his.
The Grand Master of the Teutonic Knights, Hermann von Salza, and the Pope together actually gave the Order of the Black Knights the same status as the Knights Templars, thus preparing the disappearance of the Templars, merging into the Order of the Teutons right before the founding of their base in the Alps, meaning that the Pope was in a conspiracy together with the Holy Roman Empire led by German kings against the French monarchy. Therefore, the Templars never were really persecuted by Rome and the Pope. But
see, that gives you a flavour, like, and he's got loads of work. Look at what vids he's done. And loads. It's about 100. So good. He's got his own website then. I hope it is him. He's, well, you know, looks a bit of a crackpot in that picture, but he understands that you got to have an image and all that. Just get people to look at you and watch you, I suppose. I can't recommend it enough. Whether you agree with him or not, it's still fascinating. And he's done so much work, so there's a lot to go at. And when you see it all laid out, I tell you, makes you think. I'm going to leave it there. Enjoy the holidays. We'll see if we're still here in the new year, eh? Who knows? Whatever happens though, we'll have to do something. Take care, y'all.